Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is another episode of Ridiculous Loadout. As you may already know, this is a series I started way back when in the Battlefield 3 days, basically whoring myself out for cheap views, running a suggested loadout from one of you in the comments section. Mostly this is a not so tactical series where most of the loadouts are either bad or troll or just plain ugly looking. Rarely I get a chance to try out a combination, a kit that I haven't thought of before, and maybe have good results with it. Mostly not though. Today's suggestion comes from an L-man who, well, actually, I've had a couple of great suggestions I liked this week, but being a second assault DOC loadout, I couldn't refuse really. So, NL Man suggested the F2000 with the alien scope on it. That's available only to this particular gun in the game and in real life, by the way. And the 6-hour P226 pistol, a medic bag, defib pedals, and V40 mini grenades, and an offensive perk. Well, as you probably know by now, the F2000 is a new gun we have in Battlefield 4 that comes with the second assault DOC, which is basically everything from Battlefield 3 and earlier. So the F2000 is an assault rifle, and thus it's only available to the assaulter/medic class. To unlock it, you must complete the assignment called Express Train, and for this and other assignments, second assault assignments, I've made a separate video, so I won't cover how to unlock them all here in this one. So, before I go into the actual stats of the F2000, I'd like to just say that it's really, I think, quite wonderful, as I already said, that DICE included this interesting scope with the F2000 this time. It's a really cool assault rifle, actually made in Belgium by FN Herstal, the company that came up with several interesting designs, like the P90 and the 5.7 pistol, also available in Battlefield 4, by the way. And it looks very futuristic with the strange shape, a bullpup design, and an interesting 1.6 times magnification scope that is only native to this weapon. The scope sits in this molded plastic cover that can be readily removed to expose a Picatinny rail that you can mount other scopes to. Now, the cool thing is that DICE included this scope with the game, and what's more is that it comes unlocked as soon as you get the F2000. So, you don't have to wait for battle packs to unlock this item. I wish more guns came with native scopes, like the L85A2 assault rifle should have come with the SUSAT scope, I think. That was a very big missed opportunity by DICE, I think. Another really cool feature of this assault rifle is that it ejects spent shells forward and to the right of the barrel. Now, this is actually nothing new for several guns we see in Battlefield 4. In fact, the P90 ejects shells downward through the handle. That's why you never really see any actual spent shells while firing the P90. The RFB, for example, ejects spent shells forward above the barrel. So, we've seen these interesting designs before. This is actually done because since it's a bullpup design and the magazine is right next to your face while firing, it makes sense that if the ejection port would be above the magazine, as it is in most assault rifles, you'd eventually get hit in the face with a very hot spent shell casing, exactly square in the face. So, to avoid that, the ejection port is moved forward to the very edge of the weapon and ejects shells to the right. Actually, Level Cap mentioned this in his review of the F2000 and said that DICE messed it up and modeled it wrong because the animation on screen shows the shell casings flying out to the right of the gun, and that's not how it is in real life, that they eject forward in real life. But you see, that's not entirely correct. Well, far be it from me to correct Level Cap, but I must disagree on this point. You see, the shell casings actually are modeled as they are supposed to be in real life. In fact, they are not supposed to eject straight out of the barrel like in the RFB, straight in front of the barrel. The ejection port on the F2000 is far forward, yes, but in fact it's located on the right side of the gun. And you can see this when you go to the loadout screen and take a look at the right side of the gun in Battlefield 4. You will see the ejection port, which technically ejects shells to the right as in real life, but does so at the very edge of the barrel. So, and you know, it kind of looks in the animation that the shells fly out to the right of the gun, which is as it's supposed to be. And by the way, the same as in the RFB rifle, in real life, the shells don't fly out by themselves unless they are already 5 shells behind it and they push it out, or if you tilt the gun forward. Oh, and by the way, a small Easter egg mention of the loadout screen, which I guess is not exactly an Easter egg, but you can only see certain sides of the guns in the loadout screen, and each DLC for Battlefield 4 allows you to see different sides of the gun in the loadout screen. For example, the vanilla game will let you see the left side of the guns, and then they will turn with their butts to you in China Rising. And in Second Assault, you'll be able to see the right side of the guns in the loading screen. Alright, so enough about that. Let's get to the actual stats of the F2000 in Battlefield 4. In Battlefield 4, it does a standard for assault rifles damage of 25 at 8 meters, which drops off to 18 at 55 meters. By the way, fun fact, assault rifles in Battlefield 3 used to do 18.4 minimum damage at 55 meters. The other main stats are pretty much the same: 850 RPM rate of fire, 600 meters a second muzzle velocity, 380 meters a second if suppressed, an upward kick of 0.24, left 0.4, and right of 0.5. A magazine of 30 rounds is pretty much standard here, but unfortunately so is a 3 times first shot multiplier for this very quick rate of fire weapon. Another significant problem for the F2000 is that it's very long. It has a very long reload time. Its short reload time of 2.7 seconds is just slightly faster than the FAMAS, and its long reload time of 3.9 seconds is agonizingly long and by far the longest long reload time of any assault rifle. Very disappointing this, and I would suggest never waiting for the last bullet to run out before reloading, because it will mean death. Now, for whatever reason, this is actually longer than the reload time we had in Battlefield 3, especially the long reload, which is longer by nearly half a second. The only thing that is interesting here is it's got a pretty good hipfire spread, so keeping all this in mind, you want to choose your attachments that sort of help out in problem areas of the F2000 and sort of help grow the positive areas. I'd suggest an angled or folding grip to cut down on the first shot multiplier from 3 to 2.01, and maybe a muzzle brake or a compensator to help with the vertical per shot or horizontal per shot recoil, respectively. Also, if you want to increase its hipfire strength, I'd suggest a laser sight and whatever sight or scope combo that you like. Personally, I really dig the alien scope, but I can see how some people might not like it since it covers up a lot of the screen in hipfire and doesn't really provide good indicators when scoping in. Honestly, I don't know. I was able to pull off some nice shots scoping in at close to medium range with this scope. So, really, it's a matter of preference. So, thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.